Hi, it's Jenny Harms, and we are making Zwieback today. Zwieback, they are a traditional Mennonite roll that have been around for a long, long time. These are the ingredients for Zwieback: 2 cups of milk scalded, 1 cup of water, 5 teaspoons of yeast, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1/2 cup of butter melted, 1/2 cup of coconut oil, 2 eggs beaten, and 7 to 9 cups of flour. So we're getting ready to make Zwieback this morning. First, I have my 2 cups of scalded milk, and I scald my milk in the microwave. It took probably about 3.5 minutes to do that. You just want to make sure you have like a little skin on the top of the milk, but you don't want it boiling. Then we're going to add a cup of water and our 1/2 cup of sugar and get all that dissolved. And then we're going to bring the mixture to lukewarm, which I wish I could tell you what that was. I'm sure there is a temperature. Pretty warm to the touch is what we're looking for. And I think adding that water probably did that, and the sugar, and so it's cooling off here. So I think we're good. I'm going to add the 5 teaspoons of yeast and get that all dissolved. Then we're going to let it set and rise for just a little bit. And I'm going to get a whisk. We've been letting the yeast dissolve, and so now we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. 1½ teaspoons of salt, 1/2 cup of butter melted, and I melted the coconut oil a little bit too, and then the 2 eggs beaten. So we're going to mix this up, just kind of get everything incorporated. This recipe is different because it does have coconut oil in it, and I'd never had that, but when I tasted the Zwieback from this, it was really soft and moist. And now we're going to add 3 cups of flour, and I've pre-measured that already. Get that mixed up. So I got this recipe from my friend Rochelle Funk from First MB Church. She actually uses this to make cream cheese kolaches. She said it's good Zwieback dough, and so that's why I'm trying it. So we'll see how it works out here. I got the whisk back out because I'm just kind of smoothing that out, and that seemed to work pretty well. So the recipe called for 7 to 9 cups of flour. I've put my 3 cups in, and I've also pre-measured 4 more cups out. And so I'm gonna put that in. So now we have 7 cups. So we're gonna see where this takes us and see if we need to measure out any more. I'm slinging it all over the place. So this is looking a little sticky to me from when I normally make Zwieback. So I'm going to measure out 1 more cup, and I'm probably not going to even put the whole thing in there. We're going to try that, because one thing you don't want to do is get too much flour. It shouldn't stick to your fingers too much. It should be, it's a soft dough, but if it's still sticking to stuff, then you can probably add just a little more flour, and it doesn't take much to get it. So here, I'm gonna still add just a little bit more, and I'm gonna start adding it pretty slowly here, just because I don't want to get too much flour. Probably the better thing to do for me at this point is to turn it out. And it's really more of a feel now, and it's still a little sticky because it's sticking to the table here. We're going to knead in this flour and pour the rest of that crap on there. So I have probably I added the 1/8 cup, and then probably just in getting this worked in, it was still pretty sticky, so I've probably added pretty much close to the 1/9 cup of flour also. And now I'm just kneading it. All of this can be done in your KitchenAid mixer with the dough hook. This is the therapeutic part for me in making Zwieback, is the kneading part, and you just get a good feel of the dough, and so I recommend that you at least try to do the kneading by hand at least once. I can still feel, and it's sticking to the table, so I continue to add just a little bit of flour. The weather also plays a big part in your dough also. When it's drier or more humid, that affects how your dough comes out. But as you can see now, I'm kneading it and it's not really sticking. I am going to put just a little bit more flour down. In most of my recipes for Zwieback, it calls to knead it for 5 to 10 minutes, and so I am going to be doing that here. Well, I've been kneading for about 10 minutes here, and so the dough is nice and soft now and looks pretty smooth. I'm going to put it in a bowl. I'm going to spray the bowl with turn it and then you flip it over, and we're going to put a tea towel over this and find a warm place and let it rise probably for about 30 minutes, and then we'll come back and make the Zwieback. So we let the dough rise, and you can see it looks pretty good. It's probably doubled in size. And so I'm going to make the Zwieback. So this involves just taking your dough and pinching off. My grandma told me like egg-sized balls, and so that's about what I normally do. Normally I make several of the bottoms, and so I just keep adding dough, and I pinch it off in between my pointer finger and my thumb like that. Then we'll start putting these on. So I'm going to keep making, now I'm going to make some smaller ones and stick them on there. And here we go. So I've made these, and then what I do is I take my pinky and kind of set the top into the bottom here, and so there. So we're gonna just take a little bit of time to kind of slow down and show you. I grab, about this much dough, and so I kind of work it in my hand, and I'm gonna make the little small ball at the top, and I just squeeze it, and I don't know, I just hit it on the side of my hand and kind of make a smoother bottom there. Not that that matters, but here again. So this was always kind of the scary part, was actually making the balls, but it's really not too hard. And sometimes I kind of smooth the dough out like that. And then I'm gonna let these rise probably another 30 minutes or until it's doubled, and then stick them in the oven, which is warming up to 350. So I think our Zwieback are ready, so let's get them out of the oven. Well, we had a couple fall, but that's the world of Zwieback, so nothing's ever perfect, but it'll still taste pretty darn good. I melted about a half stick of butter, and I just top them all now when they come out of the oven with melted butter, and that makes them really tasty. Oh, and actually we need to put these in the oven. So, and they go in for about 10 minutes or so, or until they kind of start getting golden brown. So we'll keep putting the butter. And I'm not sure what it is, but when the butter goes on, they kind of brown up a little bit more too. Be getting some jelly and some honey out. Sand plum jelly is really good with Zwieback. That's pretty traditional at our house. So I put the butter on, and I'm just gonna get them off the pan so that they don't get soggy with butter on the bottom. And I have to tell you that it smells really good in here, this bread. So I just got some out of the oven and they have risen very nicely. This one kind of fell over, and so we're gonna use it as a quick taste tester here. We'll put a little butter on it, and it's melting very nicely because they are very warm. And I have strawberry honey here that I am gonna put on this one. And then I have some peach cobbler jam that I am gonna put on this one, and we will have our little taste test. Oh, they're pretty tasty. The strawberry honey is really good. So we're doing a bonus addition, and we're gonna make some kolaches also. Normally for the whole entire recipe of dough, you would also then make a cream cheese mixture with 2 8-ounce bricks of cream cheese and a cup of sugar. I've got my balls here of dough, and it just says to flatten them out. And I'm gonna kind of just make a little indentation here, and it says to take a half a teaspoon, so not very much, and put in all of the little indentions here. Do that and keep going here. Have some good kolaches for our Thanksgiving also. So we finished up the kolaches, and they are maybe not quite as golden brown, but they definitely puffed right up and have a good toasty bottom, and I think that looks pretty good. They're warm, so we're gonna let them cool and enjoy them for Thanksgiving.